Hey everybody, Rodama here. Thanks for tuning in to the Philosopher King, a RimWorld royalty series about being a benevolent ruler in a benevolent society. Here's a little recap of the rules and goals we have for our society. And then, of course, that it is a choose-your-own-adventure series, which means you all get to vote on goals and rule changes. Here are the ones for past weeks. Speaking of which, there is a new poll up right now. All you got to do is go to rodamont.com or the announcement section of Discord, or even the info card at the top right. Cast your votes and decide on the sort of trajectory of this series for upcoming weeks. Thank you all in advance for voting, and all of my patrons that supplied ideas for the polls. So picking up where we left off, half of everybody has malaria. We've got Zero, Talon, Chris, Bubbaloo, and Shay bedridden right now. And Mathis desperately trying to take care of them. Another thing I'm currently doing is trying to finish up this stupid monument. I'm going to make that my tip-top priority, which means cranking out a bunch of limestone chunks. Speaking of limestone chunks, I am going to want to make 2 grand sculptures with Talon when he's good and healed. The reason being that Bubbaloo is going to require a more impressive throne room with just one more royalty rank. He's at 19 of 20 to reach count. As you can see here in his bio, Baron at 19, and at 20 you hit count or countess with a 65 total. So I need to start making sure that that throne room meets his needs. Another thing I wanted to mention is that on the polls, you all get to decide what kind of Psycaster I have next. So instead of the second title holder, I'm going to expand this out given the new meditation update, that the next Psycaster could be really any type. Could be a natural Psycaster, which we have 3 people with natural backgrounds, Bubbaloo, Talon, and Ervanath. Ervanath would be sort of disqualified, the reason being she's psychically deaf, and therefore really can't Psycast anyway. But Talon would be a good natural Psycaster next. Or, alternatively, maybe a morbid or ascetic Psycaster. We don't have anyone with asceticism, but we do have some morbid Psycasters like Zero, who is bloodlust, and therefore enables the meditation focus type of morbid. Whatever the result may be, as you can see, artistic is of course another choice. Dignified, natural. Everybody has some sort of focus choice, and you'll be able to vote upon what it will be. If you all vote for another dignified, it will be another royal title holder. Alternatively, some other type. Alright, so Shay looks to be fully over malaria, immunity, and losing malaria quick, meaning that she'll be fully healthy any moment now. And then the rest of them should be recouping pretty soon. Alright, I need to fit some additional beds into this barn because we have more animals with all of the new Labradors that we got. Royal Tribute Collector coming in. I don't have any Royal Tribute to give, so not much I'm going to do there. The Royal Tribute Collector, if you are curious, will collect slaves or gold for Royal Tribute. And I don't have an excess of either. Even if I did have slaves, I wouldn't trade them, because we're supposed to be in a benevolent society, but I certainly don't have a lot of gold either. Okay, so everybody is currently recovering from the malaria. We're getting pretty close. What I'm going to do here is queue up a Philosopher royal robe, because the Eltex robe that Bubbaloo has is just about ruined. And we'll get Zero to make that in a moment, while we finish up this monument that has taken us like 30-something days. What's funny about this monument is, if you read the quest, if it gets damaged or destroyed, I lose rep with the Night Fiends, but the Night Fiends are a permanently hostile, already negative 100 faction, so there's really no penalty to having it take damage. So the funny part is, yeah, I'm absolutely going to just smash the monument the moment it's done, with truly no intention of keeping it intact. Alright, long-range mineral scanners are done. The next thing I really ought to do is get Psychic Refining and Go Juice production. Go Juice, now with the new meditation update, will allow you to take it for some Psi Focus. So instant Psi Focus. Very, very powerful tool for combat Psi Focus, Psi casters, in order to, you know, very quickly up their psychic abilities with drugs. Alright, so this throne room is 149 out of 160. It needs to be more impressive before Bubbaloo gains another royal rank. So what I'm planning on doing is trying to get Bubbaloo, or trying to get Talon rather, to make some art there. So the Animatree. Oh, very nice. So we have an Animatree here. Animatree is a way for people to meditate here with natural meditation focus type, to build up anima grass and build up their Psycaster levels. So as long as there's not buildings near this Animatree, it is a way for you to very efficiently build up the natural Psi Focus caster type. And this is something I'm absolutely going to be doing. If you all vote on if you vote for a natural tribal backgrounded Psi Focus caster. So one of the things about the Animatree, you would set up meditation spots. As you can see, it has to be within the range of the tree. So there's only so many spots, of course, that you can set up, but there's quite a lot of them. And then only people with the natural Psi Focus type can meditate there. So if I set up one spot here, let's set owner of Bubbaloo. Bubbaloo will be able to meditate here. And as he meditates, the Animatree will become, I guess, charged up. I don't know the proper term for it. Another thing is you have to make sure that your tree here doesn't have any buildings. Basically, if you have construction near your focus objects, like the natural shrine or the large natural shrine, they become less efficient. Very much the same way that a meditation throne is less efficient if it's less impressive. The more impressive it is, the more meditation focus strength it offers. So that's something to keep in mind. Okay, so we are trying to finish up that stupid monument for the Antigrain Warheads. And those Antigrain Warheads will allow us to defend ourselves in times of dire need more efficiently. Another thing that was mentioned by Kyle and LBM is the need for some vents into my crafting rooms so that we can equalize temperatures. So we'll get that going. The reason I'm not putting it in the royal room is because this is also doubling as a bunker. Granted, the marble walls aren't very protective, But if I added vents, vents only have 100 hit points, whereas the marble walls have 360, plus vents are flammable. So I'd be really disadvantaged to set up vents in the throne room, which is why I won't be doing that. Alright, so as you can see here, I am checker patterning the barn so that we could fit in some more beds. And then I'm also going to set up for additional kibble storage. We have a growing population of animals, so I figured it makes sense to have some additional kibble storage. And then, of course, we'll be making kibble here as well shortly. I just want to finish up this here monument first. Now, I'm not even going to bother repairing up the damaged parts of this monument because I intend to break it down immediately after it's completed. I'm only after the quest rewards. I don't really care about failing or anything like that. Now, I know that you had originally voted for a beautiful garden project that I will have to replace, having gutted this thing here. And I plan on replacing it properly at some point. Oh, little plants dying cold, that's fine. I actually don't mind sowing when it is too cold because it still builds up the planting skill, which is useful. Even if you don't get to keep the plants. Making sure that everything is temperate, and it is. Okay, so we are just a few wall segments away from being done. This is literally the last wall segment here. I'll have Zero put in the finishing touches. And the pods have arrived of my gold and my anti-grain warheads. So that additional gold will be very helpful into making bionics and advanced components and stuff like that. Another thing I might want to do is move these pod launchers. Truth be told, they're just not in a great spot. Taking a look at my map here. I'm actually going to redesign these stockpiles a little bit. I have an idea. I'm not going to say it's a good idea, but I have an idea. Alright, so this whole monument, if it gets destroyed, I lose goodwill. The funny thing is, I'm at already negative 100 with the Night Fiends, so it really doesn't matter if it gets destroyed or not. So I'm going to purposely break it down. My relations with the Night Fiends get lowered. Oh well. Alright, at this point, Talon, I want you to work on art. And let's go ahead and suspend block cutting. Because that is I'm about to have so much limestone, I won't know what to do with. Manhunting ostriches. Coming in. Alright, so assignments, or rather animals. Let's get you all to grazing. And let's just forbid the external doors. I'm also going to have to close the front door. Seems like manhunters is pretty much what I have to face fairly regular basis here. Okay, so I did grab the anti-grain warheads and the gold, which is really good. Where? Wait, did I? I don't see... anti-grain warheads. Alright, let's haul these, because they're not supposed to be there. Now, honestly, they shouldn't be here either. This is too close to the core of the base and would easily be set off they should be stored, like, I don't even know. They should be stored, like, in the middle of nowhere, so they couldn't nuke me, like, here or something. Alright, well, we're on a little bit of house arrest due to the fact that there's hundreds of Scaria infected manhunters. Now, what Scaria is it's a disease. If you read about it, it afflicts the manhunters so that if you want to keep the animal, you have to cure them of the disease. It's a way that it prevents manhunters from being able to be super tamed once downed. Alright, so Talon is working on the art, and everybody else is breaking down the monument. We'll just continue from here. Scaria also, if you downed a ostrich and you leave it downed for a while, it will also rot it, just to throw that out there as well. Or really anything afflicted with the disease. It's a way to dramatically limit the effectiveness of manhunters and their packs. So, I'm going to even out these stockpiles a little bit. Even though it's pretty resource intensive. Oh well. Temporarily, the double strand and the like that's there will decay. Actually, I don't need to destroy those. And then... we'll get this set up. The way it used to be. Little roof collapse. And more roof collapse. Let me remove the roof over this area here. Alright, that's as much roof collapse as we're going to get. Alright, so what I'm going to do is copy the settings and the name of the stockpile. Delete it. Create a stockpile here. Paste the settings. Paste the name. And this is the new stockpile. As you can see, it mimics that of the eastern one. So there it is. And then we're going to just remove the floors and move the walls and everything. It's a lot of work, but it frees up some additional space. Alright, so the granite shelf here is going to be critically important for manufactured mortar shells of antigrain. And over here, let's say no antigrain. Keeping it far away from the base so that if we have a fire or some other explosion, it doesn't super explode. And then we want to get this walled up quickly so that things inside the stockpile don't actually decay. That somehow does not look... No, I guess it is symmetrical. let's go ahead with some granite. All right, continue that. Bubbaloo, you have tattered apparel. Is it forced? It is not. Well, that's kind of on you, buddy. Here, let me force switch the robe that we've got, which is the tattered one. His robe was getting pretty low. Alright, so now this is inside again, so it won't be decaying. And then we're going to move the wall down. These ostriches should probably leave soon. Probably do that on their own. 0, let's haul this anti-grav warhead out of the way. Perfect. How is the statue coming along? Nah, it's going slow. It's going slow. All right, so we'll continue working on the that monument there. Go juice production is done. Let's go with hydroponics. Actually, I'll leave this intact until we have the new wall up. Okay, I didn't exactly want that roofed. In fact, let's issue a no roof over really all of this. Faustopia, I'm going to have you... Actually, you know what? Everybody super haul for a bit. To get my resources back to where they belong. And then we'll queue up a roof to be built around the edges here. Why? I'm not sure, but it just looks cleaner to me, I guess. I don't know what a roof over the edges like that would even look like. Okay, so I think the super hauling is done. Now we can just cleanly have a bottom wall here, rather than the weird piecemeal wall that we had been rocking. Go. Okay, we're going to get this plugged in. Let's uninstall the beacon. And we just need to re-wall that up. As far as wildlife goes, yeah, there's still a ton of ostriches that want blood. So I'll just keep waiting it out. Animals. Yeah, you're all in grazing. That's good. Let's fix what grazing looks like now. There. And hauling. Should also reflect. All right, so the purpose of this table here is to remove the desire or the demand for kibble in our own butchery. So what I'm going to do here is let's delete that, and then that also reduces the amount of travel that it needs. So that's kibble for hay. Then this is going to be generalized hay storage. And that takes hay entirely out of our stockpiles here. And then over here, what we're going to do is this will be meat for kibble. Meat for kibble is going to be just like our butchery priorities, but a little bit lower. Then what we're going to do is a butcher creature, copy and paste. This butcher creature is going to be ingredients radius 9. Actually, this one will be reduced to... Oh, you know what? Actually, that's the wrong... Yeah, no, hold on. This is for the Thrumbo. This is like to make sure that Thrumbo are always butchered. So copy here, paste here, take to meat for kibble, and then make kibble. Copy and paste. That takes the kibble requirement away from the kibble making requirement out of here totally and puts it in here. And that way we can haul the kibble a little bit closer. And we have 3, 6, 9, 1,200 kibble storage capacity, so we'll raise that up. And when we make it, we can take it to best stockpile. Alright, you're done, 0. Let's get you back to work. Oh, another thing I'm going to need to do is remove the roof so that these don't all collapse on me. Alright, I want to finish my stockpiles first, though. So let's forbid this door and build over here instead. Or finish this. I don't care what they finish. It just shouldn't be... Okay, so the crazy ostriches are gone. Let's zoom all the way out. And reallow the doors. And we should force that one open. Run, Chris, run! Is there someone close by that could help? Poppy, you could help. Tattered apparel Bubbaloo, you need to switch your gear. Assign. Psycaster. Make sure it is 51 plus. And normal plus. There. Now he'll actually take care of himself. I'm just preferentially hunting the predators right now, so that my pets don't get hurt. Let's put the pets back on hauling. All the Labradors can be trained additionally. There we go. And get that refurb in, because I don't care to break this down immediately. I'd rather work on other things. Now it might be nice to have this border wall where it is, so that future monument projects have a place to live, where I don't have to worry too much about them. There we go. Now we're stripping up the floors. And making kibble much more efficiently than we were before. That's perfect. So if I want to start making my own go juice, as you can see, go juice requires Neutroamine and yayo. I'm gonna have to start making my own yayo, which means the psychic refining needs to start happening. Now, the purpose of that is that I did mention, I think, that go juice is a way to build up psi focus very quickly. You can take it in a pinch to fuel your, your drug abilities, your psychic abilities. Fast, but potentially a little bit dangerous. Now, the addictive properties have been reduced so that it's less addictive than it used to be. So it's not quite as damning, but still, you gotta be careful, because it doesn't have a tolerance level. The first dose could be addictive. Alright, now this old construction project is going to get broken down. There we are. Sort of a new layout. Exotic goods trader flying overhead. And maybe I sell this grand statue. We'll see. Let's leave that open. And get some trading done. Animal hauling probably needs to update as well as home zone and all that. So animal hauling... I'll do the other one. Okay, so let's get rid of these walls here. Allow them in the doors. And eventually I might even min-max it further, having drop boxes to prevent them from even coming inside. Animal hauling shouldn't be allowed in this zone, though. And then really anything up here is fine. And then as far as home zone goes, anywhere that there is natural stone tiles, I'm going to get rid of so that we don't clean up the grounds. It doesn't really make much sense. Alright, so that's done. Oh, there's a little leftover concrete here. Okay. Exotic goods. Bubbaloo, that would be you. Let's get trading. Are both my... Yep, both the beacons are installed. So let's see. We can sell the Thrumbahorn that I've got. That's a good a bit of money. Psychic Reader. Vertical Pulse would be very powerful for Bubbaloo to have. I very much want to buy Plasteel, but it's very expensive. There, we sort of broke even with the limestone grand sculpture. That'll have to do, I think. And then Fugitive Outpost is just a bunch of goodwill and camp loot. 11 enemies. Again, not a high priority because it doesn't work towards the goals of the series. Doesn't necessarily mean I won't do it. It's just not important, I suppose. Alright, another thing I wanted to do is to sort of square this off. Maybe I'll change the dimensions a little bit. Just for more walled up space. Let me think. Nah, I don't really need to do that. I'll just leave it. But I'm going to tile it up down here. So, I guess we traded with the exotic goods. Uninstall those beacons. Now this is all set. Over here, what I'm going to do is... Oh, Tantrum. Just destroying random stuff. Okay, so let's go turn on the rich soil overlay. And I'm going to flagstone out a path around it. And then we'll be walling this off as well with granite instead of marble. And this is all a marble conservation project. Yes, Zero could deep drill for the marble. Now, why are you having a tantrum? You've been rebuffed a lot by Shay. But Shay is in a relationship with Philosopher, so you're really just... You're just pissed for the sake of pissed. Well, that's a lot of damage. Then one of the problems of having someone tantruming with a linked Zeus hammer is you can do a lot of damage. And that damage has been done. Oh well. Alright, recurve bow. I'm just researching this stuff just to be completionist at this point. Obviously, I don't really need to ever make a recurve bow. Let's see. I'm going to get a lot more hunting done so that we can start building up our kibble. So over here, meat for kibble. Barn corpses. So barn corpses, I'm going to allow all animal corpses. And this should be preferred and important. Okay, yep, that is correct. Alright, Talon I'm going to allow to get down here. I'm going to open this back up because he'll start making the large art projects. Doing something he has a passion for should allow him to lose some of his attitude. There's a lot of little broken things around the base, power that got knocked out, etc., etc. Thanks, Talon. It's fine. Everyone's entitled to a freak out from time to time. Alright, so here is art projecting. I'm going to actually remove this stockpile altogether so that we start stocking up in the normal area, which will make art a little bit easier to do. Alright, the next big project, of course, is going to be Operation Remove the Monument. Not so much looking forward to that one, but we'll get started. As you can see, my loyal pets are helping to haul away some of the resources that I'm going to need to put into stockpile. Oh, this should be... There we go. Food binge. Divorced by Yanshui. Ah, yes. Well, And then the next project, of course, is to get a wall up. What I might end up doing is adding a door for west-east travel. We'll see. I'm not certain about that yet. All I know is I do want this farm to be walled up, and that it wouldn't hurt to have various doors around it in order to gain access for safety's sake. Zero's making recon armor. I thought this shelf here... Which one has... Yeah, this one has plasteel as important. I don't know. But what I do know is I could build a roof there. Because, uh-oh. Wild Boar Revenge, and there's a whole lot of them. Yan Shui is going to have a bad day. There is only Chris that's remotely close. Bustupia. Poppy. Going to come to aid. And maybe Bubbaloo, too. Oh, she managed to, like, punch one or something. Yeah. Hopefully she doesn't get gored too bad. Just keep running. She does have a bionic leg, so she's quick. Fleet of foot. Might allow her to put some distance. Oh, good. That was not as terrible as I thought it would be. Every now and then, when you're a bit too close, it could end up pretty fatal. Pretty fatal. So she needs a little bit of treatment. But she went for a beer first. Understandable. Alright, so here's the art project. Which I believe is... It has 2 tool benches, so it's going about as fast as it is able. We'll continue putting plain leather chairs everywhere. Alright, Mathis is done picking out on food. Animal flu, breed dog. Just 1. Interesting. And grape bows are done. So as you can see here, the animal butcher... Wow, it has a lot of critters. The animal butcher is all set. And my kibble mount actually is double what it should be. It should be maybe 450. And that means that these are full. This is just offering up more kibble for the creatures that we've got. The center row I'm going to put as hay grass next time I resow. So the additional limestone, instead of being in a monument, is going to sculptures, which is going to be nice. Alright, Poppy, let's have you haul some of this marble away. And then, of course, I'm trying to build up my regular marble as well. Bubbaloo, building up a little... Oh, solar flare, that's not good. So Bubbaloo's meditation, he just as easily could meditate out here. It wouldn't be terrible for him to spend some outdoor time. Wow, who's still hunting? Mathis? I guess you were on a food binge, so your schedule's all sorts of wrong. All the pets are trained up proper. Arting in the dark. Hospitality. Host her. Sure, I'll host her. Let's accept for advanced component in silver. Alright, so you are a temporary. I think what I'm going to do is to have them haul as a solo priority. And then, of course, let's give you a bed. And your food and drugs are all fine. Should be pretty easy to host them without much issue. But that actually brings me about to the end of this episode. So, just a little reminder, if you haven't voted already, you should go and vote. It's very, very important to make your voice heard. Anyone can vote. You don't have to be a patron. Just go to rotomont.com, hit the info card, or go to the announcements section of Discord. There's some important choices to be made. If you have any tips, tricks, feedback for me, do drop me a line in the comments below. If you have any questions, feel free to ask or hop on Discord. There's a channel for it. Thanks for watching, everybody. I'll catch you all next episode. Adios.